Hey everybody, welcome back to Jeff Bowles Central. I just watched Wonder Woman 1984, which is out today, December 25th, Christmas Day, simultaneously in theaters and on HBO Max. I'm not going to go to a movie theater right now. That's a personal choice, but hey, I'm not going to do it. So, congratulations and God help you to the people who do decide to go to the movie theater. That's up to you. But much rather sit at home in the comfort of my own living room and watch this next DC masterpiece. Um, so, I have been a DC Comics reader and a DC film and television viewer my entire life, as I assume many of you have. And yeah, I've read a lot of Wonder Woman comics in my time, not to brag. And so I've seen a lot of Wonder Woman stories, and I am I liked the first one ultimately. I felt like it had some flaws, but I thought overall it was charming and kind of unique in its approach to trying to tell a superhero origin story. Just even setting it in World War One was interesting to me. That was an interesting setting you don't really see as much in movies anymore. The Great War, the first one. So I ultimately enjoyed the first one. I'm not so sure that I enjoy Wonder Woman 1984 quite as much. And there's one major reason for that, and I can't really get into it without spoiling basically the entire structure of this story. Basically, the MacGuffin, yeah, the thing that the whole plot revolves around, to my mind, at least, is a little ridiculous. It's a little on the silly side. It verges on the dumb, stereotypical dumb comic book angle. There are a lot of things that I did like about Wonder Woman 1984. I like the performances for the most part. Gal Gadot turns in another really, really good performance as Diana Prince, Wonder Woman. Kristen Wiig was really, really good. She plays one of the main characters, one of the main villains, Cheetah. And Chris Pine is back as Steve Trevor. And again, I won't spoil for you how he's back because that's kind of like, again, the MacGuffin, right? So if I tell you that, I tell you everything. And honestly, the movie really does shine, just like the first one, when Godot and Chris Pine are doing their thing together. They're a really good movie couple. They bounce off each other pretty well. Pedro Pascal as Maxwell Lord. I don't know how I feel about his performance. I guess maybe at this point I'm used to him being the Mandalorian or something. He's just kind of always talking like this. Don't touch the child. Don't hurt the child. But in this thing, he's like a madman. He's all over the place. He's got a very, very, very large personality, and I suppose that's kind of reflective of the sort of archetypal self-help guru, self-made millionaire, industrial businessman that existed in larger numbers in the 1980s, right? So if you're going to call a movie 1984, I feel like the year 1984 needs to be very, very central and key to the development of the plot, and I don't find that here. I don't quite know why it's called 1984 other than the fact that it takes place in 1984. There's definitely signs and symptoms of the 80s everywhere. There seems to be this comment that the director, Patty Jenkins, wants to make about wanting and desiring and not really in the me decade, the 1980s, wanting all these things and desiring and consumer culture maybe even and not necessarily seeing that there are consequences for the things that you want, and not really asking yourself why you want those things, and not really asking yourself what would happen if I got those things. You know what I'm saying? You probably don't know what I'm saying, and I'm verging on spoiling it again. So, I think I'll just leave it there. I think my main thesis is that there are surprising things to be found in this movie. It's not exactly what I expected at all. There's some disappointing things. For instance, there's not really enough action, maybe. I don't know if you can really say that. It is supposed to be an action movie, and there's not a whole lot of Wonder Woman actually doing the Wonder Woman thing. Not as much as I thought. Maybe that's a weird call on my part. I'd be willing to retract that if that was if that was a misapprehension. But um, I think basically nothing really elevates this movie out of dumb comic book movie territory. Unfortunately, um, if I look at a comparable franchise in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Wonder Woman 1 and Captain America 1. They're very similar movies. And then you look at their sequel, right? Captain America had the Winter Soldier, and then this is Wonder Woman 1984. The Winter Soldier, I feel, was a bigger progression, a better progression in storytelling prowess, in what they were capable of communicating on screen, and just the beat by beat narrative work that was done. It was a better told story, I feel, than 84. So, to my mind, DC is still stuck in a bit of a rut, unless you count stuff like Joker, which totally breaks the mold, or Shazam, I really, really liked, and I kind of even liked Birds of Prey to a point. So, I think that DC is still stuck in second gear, and I don't know that they're going to dig themselves out totally. It's not a total wash, this movie, but to me, there's not enough to elevate it away from just regular old dumb popcorn entertainment. And I feel like when it comes to superhero movies, we really do need to start doing that. Because we have plenty of good examples of the dumb comic book movie, and we have plenty of good examples of the smart comic book movie. And tell me which one you prefer watching, because I know which one I prefer watching. So, Jeff Full Central is going to give Wonder Woman 1984 a 7 out of 10. I liked it, but not as much as I was hoping to like it. Gold eagle suit and all. Boy, that suit was gold.
Oh yeah. Okay. So here's the part where we plug my book. It's your turn now to plug the book. Can you rap it a little like a?
No, I'm not the musician. Quibus, gosh.
Quibus.
Yeah.
What is that? Talk about my book. We got like 10 seconds left for crying out loud.
It's a really good book. It's about angels and demons and love and romance and blah.
Blah blah. All right. So I think that was a good video.
Yeah.
I'm happy with our performance, and I think that it will garner an Oscar nomination.
I don't think so.